Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Con TDK, Mr. So Real, and in this week's Good or Garbage, we're going to be taking a look at the weapons, armor, attachments, mods, and everything that you should be at least remotely interested in for the Division and its weekly reset. We're pretty much getting close to, I think, 50 episodes deep. If not, this may be the 50th. I'll have to double check. But really enjoying you guys coming and checking out the Good or Garbage every week. So there's a very important question at the end, so please check it out and leave a comment below. Starting off this week's Good or Garbage, we're at the Special Blueprints vendor, and lo and behold, the ACR blueprint is being sold. And the lightweight M4, just in case you missed it last week, is also being sold. So we got two really good primary weapon blueprints that are being sold. For the newer agents and for the people who just maybe didn't even know, when you look at the blueprints, you can see that the damage on the right side, it says 21.9 to 23.5k. This is the base damage and the base damage rolls that you can get on this particular type of weapon. So if you don't know, whenever you go out and you see a weapon at a vendor, or if you pick one up, the maximum you can get for the ACR and also for the lightweight M4 is 23.5, well, with my character. So looking at whatever your character is, the numbers may be different, so you may want to write that down and kind of keep that somewhere so that you have a little bit of knowledge on it, so that when you do get a weapon, you'll know if it's good or garbage. So the other blueprints that they have this week are the firearms backpack blueprint. We have the electronics mask blueprint. We have the pro red dot sight blueprint, which has critical hit damage. We have the small grip, which also has critical hit damage. We have the firearms gear mod, and we have the stamina gear mod. There's some pretty decent stuff this week. So if you need a stamina gear mod, a firearms gear mod, if you want a crit grip, or if you want a crit scope, then you have two nice options there: electronics mask and firearms backpack. Depends on what you need, but definitely the lightweight M4 and the ACR are two blueprints that you really may want to think about getting. Moving over to the special equipment vendor, we have the Cassidy, the Pecan, the Liberator, the Centurion, and the Historian. Now, just as a little side note, and this really has not much to do with you guys, but I am really looking for a good Liberator, a good Centurion, and a good Historian. I want to try these out with some of my builds, but unfortunately this week the Liberator is falling a little bit short compared to last week, and I wrote down the numbers for last week. The Liberator had a base damage last week of 22.2, which is 0.1 less than what's being sold this week, but the problem is the talents on this week's weapon are not the best. We have focused, we have competent, and we have intense. Now for some people this may be a pretty nice roll, but compared to last week, we had responsive, prepared, and adept. I think last week's roll was a little bit better, and it also had 21% enemy armor damage for PvP stuff. The other thing is the Centurion as well took a little bit of a hit compared to last week. Well, last week's was 29.5, so this week is a little bit higher, but the talent, I don't remember what the talent was, but this one is skilled for this week. The Historian for this week definitely took a nice slap in the face. It was, for last week, it was 47.1 base damage, and it had 158 headshot damage. This week it is 46.1 with a headshot of 151, so a little bit less. And this week's talents are swift, skilled, and the exotic talent. I'm personally not going to pick these up, although I am looking for them. Hopefully I can find some way to get some exotic weapons, because I have been having horrible luck with the exotics so far. So yeah, it's too bad for me. Now the rest of the weapons that are being sold this week, nothing especially amazing, but this enhanced ACR is being sold if you want to buy one outright. It comes with vicious, talented, and adept. If that's something that floats your boat, then there you go. But remember, again, as we talked about with the blueprints, that the base damage goes up to 23.5, so this is a little bit under 1,000 of its max, so you can do better, but whether that will come along remains to be seen. If you need to pick one up and you want one, then there you go. The SASG is also being sold with Predatory, Unforgiving, and Accurate. Not a bad roll per se, but depends on if you can get the talents to work. Predatory is kind of hard. Surplus SVD, not really my cup of tea. Predatory, Meticulous, and Disciplined with a 164. There are better snipers out there. The M249B, light machine gun with Swift, Predatory, and Vicious. There are better light machine guns out there. And for the rest of the stuff that is being sold, nothing really amazing. You can kind of skim through some of this. I'm going through it nice and slow so you guys can see what is being sold and if there's anything worth your time. But honestly, there isn't a lot. So yeah, that's kind of how it is. Nothing really to say about that. But this Reclaimer support pack does have 1259 electronics, and it does have 8% crit damage, and it has a little bit of ammo capacity, but not a huge fan. That's kind of how sad this is looking over here. Nothing really super amazing. And even the armor rolls on some of this stuff is not the best. There are, just as a heads up, there are better things that are going to be being sold. This Predator Mark gloves, crit hit damage at 16. The max is 17. Shotgun, skill haste, 1265. Not too bad, but the armor at 920 is a bit low. I'd like to see something a bit higher. And that's kind of what's going on this week. The Omega Rifle Suppressor at 17.5 is not bad. 4% critical hit damage, 3% crit chance, and 50% reduced threat. Not bad if you need it. The hand stop grip kind of sucks. Reload speed. 12 times scope at 16.5 headshot damage, 3% critical hit chance, and 5% optimal range. Headshot damage is a bit low. You can do better. And I think there is one being sold this week that might be a little bit better, but I'm not really sure. I kind of forgot. All right, so that is it. Why don't we go upstairs and see what other weapons and stuff is being sold this week. All right, now over at the Advanced Weaponry Vendor, we have a Rhino pistol with Toxic. We have an AUG Para with Swift, Fierce, and Dominant. We have a military AK-47 with Talented, Fierce, and Adept. Double barrel shotgun, sidearm with Trained, Fierce, and Sustained, an M700 carbine with Commanding, Adept, and Elevated, and an infantry MG5 with Self-Preserve, Steady, and Competent. I'm sure you can tell that there's nothing that really stands out here. We have a high velocity magazine if you need crit chance. Don't recommend this. Extended mags are always better. Compensator with stability, accuracy, optimal range. The laser grip with accuracy, stability, critical hit damage. Russian red dot sight with accuracy, stability, and crit chance. All of this is pretty much not on my list of things to buy. There's nothing that really seems all that amazing. This AUG Para has some pretty decent base damage, but the talents are just kind of meh. This AK-47 has some pretty nice base damage actually, but Talented, Fierce, and Adept, they're really hard to just get these skills to work. To have a high base damage, you're going to have to sacrifice for some electronics to get these to work, and it's, I don't really know. So I would say let's see what other things are being sold this week. Now, as a quick side note, in the base, the Dark Zone gear vendor has an operator's mask with rehabilitated 1271 electronics, health on kill, and disorient resistance. The only reason I wouldn't put this higher on my list of recommendations is because the armor could be a bit better, but the roll on the electronics is really good, and with people using air burst, seeker mines, and flame turrets, shock turrets, rehabilitated is not that bad. It will get things started, and if you can get out of that engagement, you can get some health back, plus getting health on kill doesn't hurt either. Just as a side note, if you need something like this, then there you go. All right, there's nothing else in the base, so let's see what's going on outside in the real world. At the Park Avenue checkpoint, there are quite a few honorable mentions. We have a black market AK-74 with responsive, determined, and competent. I know people really like competent on their assault rifles, And responsive is not bad for PvP as well. The base damage is at a respectable 28.3, and the enemy armor damage is a bit low at 19. Another honorable mention is the military RPK 74. Now, I know this isn't like the favorite LMG, but this one has destructive, meticulous, and it also has competent. So meticulous I really like on LMGs. Having destructive and having competent are all very good, especially if you're running PvE content and you like this type of LMG. These are two that I thought I'd throw out there just in case people were looking for something like this. The rest of this stuff is not that great, so let's see what other things the vendors have around the Dark Zone this week. Now over in West 53rd Street, there are a few things that they have for sale. This tactical pack has 1272, the absolute max when it comes to stamina. It has technical increased skill power by 15% when signature skill is active, not the best talent. It also has health at 12,310. The maximum for bags like that is 13,339. So it's a little bit less, but it does have burn resistance. Now they have a firearms mod at 265 firearms with 3,118 skill power. If you're running skill power, this may not be a bad one to pick up. Plus there's a 12 times scope with 18% headshot damage, critical hit chance, and accuracy. If you're looking for something like this, then there you go. So there's some pretty respectable things that they have for sale. Don't know about this bag just because technical isn't the best, but the firearms skill power mod might be just what someone needs to help round out their build. Let's see what else is going on. Over in West 39th Street, there is a pretty interesting rehabilitated mask. The good thing about it is that it has 998 armor, which is pretty close to the level cap, so I figured I would mention it. The electronics roll on it is pretty pathetic, but that's not what we're here for. It has 4% health on kill, and it has burn resistance, so having these on a rehabilitated mask could work out for you. Plus, you could always re-roll that electronics for something better. That armor roll cannot be changed, so you do want to make sure that the armor rolls on your gear are as high as possible. I know that the Dark Zone, as I said before, is full of flame turrets, air bursts, seeker mines, so having something with rehabilitated on it could save your life. All right, that's it. Let's see what else is going on. East 34th Street has a very disappointing Model 700. The only reason I'm recommending this, well, not recommending it, but the only reason I'm mentioning it is because it has 172 headshot damage, which is the max. The base damage at 131 seems a bit low, and the talents are straight poo-poo. Commanding, cool-headed, and elevated. Yeah, these, not a huge fan of these, but if you are playing the support role and you are trying to get super and you're trying to do everything to assist your team, this might be a pretty decent weapon. You're not going to be killing as much as you could with cool-headed and commanding. And the other thing is you also have to have some pretty high electronics for this. So the only reason I'm even bringing it up is because of the 172 headshot damage. And this model 700 isn't even my favorite. I actually like the carbon. So yeah, do what you will with that. All right, let's see what else is going on. In DZ2, the vendor inside of the safe zone or the safe house has a tactical mask with refreshed. This one has 991 armor. Pretty good roll. The stamina is a little bit low at 1232, but it does have refreshed. All healing is improved by 30% when you're in your last segment of health, which is pretty nice. If you're on death's door, pop a health kit or anything that will give you some health, and you'll get even more back. Plus, it has 4% health on kill, and it has 11% damage to elites. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about was this robust chest piece, 1260 stamina. It's got robust, which has increased armor while you're in cover by 10. And then it has 15,608 health, which is not too bad, plus 7% skill haste. The bummer is that it has increased kill XP. I'd always like to see ammo capacity, but it is what it is. The rest of this stuff is kind of meh. Nothing really amazing in here. But those two first pieces are pretty decent. If you're looking for a nice mask or maybe even a chest piece to give you some armor, then definitely you may want to check these two out. The armor roll on this chest piece is a little bit low. I'd like to see it above 2,000, but hey, you do what you can. The health is not bad. All right, so let's see if there's anything else in the dark zone. Now up in DZ3, we've got a couple things I wanted to talk about really quickly. We've got this tactical vector. The base damage is it's not too bad for an SMG. It's got skilled, it's got deadly, and it's got capable. I'd like to see something else besides capable, but deadly and skilled, especially if you can get skilled to fit into your build, it's not too bad. But there are better options. Now this enhanced ACRE, definitely a recommendation if you need one of these bad boys. 22.2k damage, could be better. Remember, the max that you can get off of these is 23.5, but it does have responsive, accurate, and competent. I know people like competent in that third slot. Plus you have pretty tight grouping with accurate, and you have responsive if you get up close. The shotgun that we have is the custom M870. This one, responsive, accurate, and meticulous. Not too bad at all. Plus some pretty decent base damage. The custom M44 at 171 headshot damage is pretty nice. 130k for the base damage. It has talented, determined, and sustained. Not a huge fan of these talents, but the M44 is a nice bolt action, and 171 is pretty good. The military RPK 74 has brutal, sustained, and dominant. If you need something like this, then there you go. Not a bad list of weapons with some pretty okay talents. Nothing super amazing god roll, but there are some decent things. And if you need something to help you out and you're tired of waiting, then this could be a good place to go. I would recommend the enhanced ACRE because it could do some pretty good damage. I wish that base damage was a little bit higher though. All right, let's see what else is up. Over in DZ5, nothing super amazing, so I'll make this quick. There's an extended magazine with 108.5 magazine size, 4% crit chance, 4% crit damage, 3% crit hit chance. Messing up a lot this week. The Omega rifle suppressor, 18% headshot damage, 3% crit hit chance, optimal range and reduced threat, kind of a meh. This hand stop with reload speed is total garbage. We've got a 12 times scope with 16.5 headshot damage, 2% accuracy, 4% critical hit damage. This could be a lot better. The headshot damage is a little bit low, but if you need any of this stuff, then you can go to DZ5 and pick it up. All right, let's see what else is up. In DZ8, just to make this quick, we've got some prosperous knee pads. Headshots give you credits. The stamina roll on it is pretty low, but the health is at a staggering 16,477. It also comes with burn resistance, blind death resistance, increased kill XP, and just as a side note, for knees, the max health you can get is 16,674. So this is not too far off from the max. The next thing I wanted to recommend was or at least recommend for you to take a look at, are these gunslinger's gloves. The sidearms, if you're using one of the shields in the defense set, this might work out for you. You want to probably re-roll marksman for pistol, but it does have a pretty decent armor roll for gloves at 992. Just throwing it out there just in case you were looking for something like that, but definitely the knee pads have a really nice chunk of health on them. If you need the credits, then go for this. This might help you out. You're going to have to re-roll stamina, but that is what it is. All right, the last stop in the shop, we've got DZ9. The only thing worth recommending, and I was debating on even recommending this just because it's very specific, we have a 19% critical hit damage suppressor with optimal range, stability, and reduced threat. The only reason I'm even remotely talking about this is because I know a lot of people stat crit hit damage and crit chance. So if you need that bit of crit damage, 19% is pretty much the highest I've seen on a muzzle. So if you need to get one of these, then go ahead and pick one up. DZ9, the place to be. All right, guys, so that is it for this week's Good or Garbage. Hope you guys enjoy this video series. Actually, I guess my question that I was alluding to at the beginning of the video is, do you guys want me to continue this series? It seems that not too many people are playing the Division, and not too many people are so happy with the Division anymore that I'm honestly wondering, is it even worth the time and effort to, spend basically about 2 or 3 hours every Saturday going through all of this stuff and making these videos for you guys if you're not really even playing the game or interested in it anymore. Before, the Good or Garbage used to be one of the staple series for the channel, and people really liked it and they really found it useful and helpful, but it seems that there are other games to play and people are interested in other things. So my question for you guys is really and truly, honestly, let me know, do you really want to see more Good or Garbage, or would you prefer me to spend my time making other videos for something else, or maybe even a different game? And if that is the case, what would you like to see? Leave a comment in the comment section, let me know. Remember to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Instagram, and also go to the Facebook page where we've been getting busy. We got quite a few new people showing up. It's really good to see you guys checking out the Facebook page and joining, so I appreciate you guys for that. Thank you very much. And on that note, without letting this go any longer, I am Khan, TDK, Mr. So Real. Let me know in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.